Welcome back, everybody. I want to go over dividing fractions with you today. Make sure that you have this handout. This is your note page. This will help you, okay? So if it's a handout, like it says right here, it'll tell you it's a handout. That means it's one we're going to do together usually, okay? So if it says handout, that's your note page. The homework page will say homework page 4 or homework number 4 or homework 4. So that's how you know the difference, okay? All right, so we can something fraction division divide using two different methods. We can, I'm going to say show. I'm not sure if that's the word that really goes there, but that's one we're going to use today. So using two different methods, and they're giving us two methods to do it. One is a number line method, and I kind of already wrote on it because I started the video and screwed up. The other one is using an area model, okay? So let me show you how when I do the number line one. So I had 3/4, and that's what I shaded in here, okay? 1/4, 2/4, 3/4. And then it says I want to divide it by 2. So what I did is I can divide each little thing by 2, or what I could do is, I wish I had a different highlighter color. I'll just use blue. All right, so what I did is I took this and I divided it by 2. Okay, so if I kind of went and did slashes in between there, this was 1/4, this is 1/8, 2/8, 3/8, 4/8, 5/8, 6/8, 7/8, 8/8. I just split it up into 8s, okay? So when I do that, here's where half of it is, okay? I have 1.5 over here. I have 1.5 over here. Can you see how I split that up in 2? And then I did the 8s. Here's 1/8, 2/8, 3/8, okay? So if I'm looking here, my answer to my problem would be 3/8. Here's 1/8, 2/8, that made 1/4, 3/8. So I know the answer to my question of 3/4 divided by 2, I took half of it, is equal to 3/8. Okay, it's not going to be equal to 1 and 1/2, kind of like it shows in the square, because these aren't, this is one whole. Okay, so I'm going to make sure that we divide it up like we need to in order for it to show. So let's do this one, the next one. I think it's easier to do it without a model method, I'll be totally honest with you, but if this helps you, that's a good thing. All right, so the second one, it's saying that I have 1/2, and I want to divide that by 4, okay? So if this is 1/2, right? So I'm going to shade in 1/2. But I want to divide it into 4 equal pieces. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say, here's 2. Now I made my 1/2 into 2/4. And then I'm going to split that in half again, so that I have 4 equal ones here. I would have to have 4 equal ones here, okay? Now, if I do 1/2 divided by 4, okay, so I split it into 4 things, I'm going to get one of these left over because it's divided by 4. I took this, I divided it into 4, and I have one of these left over, which should be 1/8, okay? So that's one way to do this. It's a little bit different on a number line, but that's how you would do it on a number line. I would take my 1/2, divide it into 4, and if I divide this side into 4, I have to divide this side into 4. If I divided this side into 5, I would have to divide this side into 5, okay? And one of those would be 1/8. Okay. Let's try the area model. So if I have 3/7, okay, this is 7s. 1 7, 2 7, 3 7, 4 7, 5 7, 6 7, 7 7s. So that's one whole. So I have 3 7s. 1, 2, 3. And I want to divide it into 4. All right. So I'm going to divide it evenly into 4. So I want 4 equal things, boxes, okay? So if I took that and I did 3/7, divided by 4. So I took my 3/7 and I divided it into 4. How much is in each one? Which should be, you have how many boxes? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4. I have 28 total boxes. I divided it into 4 equal things, so each one had 3 shaded. Okay, so my answer would be 3/28. Okay, so if I took 3/7 and I divided it into 4s, each one of those equal 1/4 would be 3 shaded out of 28 total. All right. All right, so let's try this one. If I had 2/5 and I want to divide it by 3. Okay, so first I got to figure out how to divide this evenly into fifths. We're going to pretend these are going to be all equal boxes, you guys. Which they're so not. But we're going to pretend those are all equal boxes, okay? I stink at drawing. We're going to pretend like that, and that are all equal. All right, so I want to divide it by 3. So if I had 2/5, I shaded in 2/5. I'm going to divide it by 3. I'll be able to do thirds a little better. Okay, so I have 3 equal bars or boxes. Each one of my equal boxes is going to be 2 shaded out of my total number. So this is going to be my shaded of one of my equal. I did 3 equal, okay? So that's 1, that's 2, that's 3. What I want to know, my answer is going to be how many were shaded over how many total. So there were 2 shaded out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times 1, 2, 3 is 15. So my answer would be 2/15. Okay? All right. Let's try if we had to make our own box. Oh boy. You guys are going to see my wonderful drawing. Okay, so if I need to split this into sixths, first I'm going to split it into 3/6 because that just makes my life easier, right? Half of that would be 3/6. Then I'm going to divide it into, I want 6 equal. We're going to pretend that guy at the end is the same. All right, so if I divide out 5/6 of them, if I shaded in 5/6 of that, 3, 4, 5, 6. But I want to divide it into 2, and I want to know how much is each equal thing. So I'm going to divide it into 2. So my total number of boxes now is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 total boxes. How many of the, I have 2 equal parts, so I'm going to say there was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 out of 12. Okay, so I took this, divided it by 2, then I want to know what one of those is. So it's 5/12. All right, same thing here. So my phone just went on low power mode. I would divide it into 8s, so same thing. Oh, let me see how well I can divide into 8s here. All right, so if I divide by half, I divide by half again, and I divide by half again, I should get 8s. All of my boxes are equal, not even close, but that's okay. So I'm going to do 7 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 8s. Okay, that's 7 8s. But I want to divide it by 2. I'm going to divide it by 2. Each of these are equal. On this one, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 shaded out of. Now I have, instead of 8 total, I divided it by 2, so I have 16. So my answer is 7/16. All right, that's showing your work with area boxes and a number line model. Okay? Okay, we're going to go on the back side, and it says a fraction multiplied by its reciprocal has a product of 1. Okay? So what that's saying, oops, I'm way at the top here, sorry. What it's saying is if I had, remember reciprocals when you flip it. So let's say I did 2/3 and I multiply it by its reciprocal. That's just the number flipped. I'm going to get 6/6 or 1, okay? All right, it's also called the multiplicative inverse. In case you like big words. Okay, so that's also called your multiplicative inverse. I'm just flipping the number. So it's giving you some examples here. And remember we did cross reducing, so even if I didn't know this, I'd say 8 goes into 8 once, 8 goes into 8 once, 5 goes into 5 once, 5 goes into 5 once, and I end up with 1 over 1. Okay, so any number multiplied by its reciprocal is going to equal 1, and that's what that's showing you. Okay? All right, so reciprocal literally just means to flip it. So the reciprocal of 1 over 4, I flip the numbers, I get, it's not equal to, I'm just going to say it's 4 over 1, okay? If I flip this, I'm going to get 6 over 13. And I'm going to show you when that's a whole number what to do, okay? You have to change it to improper first and then flip it. You can't flip it. In other words, well, let me go back, do these, and then I'll go back and show you what I'm talking about. So if I did 8 over 3 and I flipped it, I'm going to get 3 over 8. If I did q over 3, I'm going to get 3 over q. I think that's a q or a 9. Maybe it's a 9. I'm not sure if it's a 9 or a q, but either way, that's what I would get. If I have the whole number 7, think about all numbers. If I divided it by 1, 7 over 1 is the same as 7. So if I flip that number, I'm going to get 1 over 7. Okay? Because if I multiply these two numbers together, I'm going to get 1. So same thing here. This would normally be written as 8 over 1 as a fraction. So its reciprocal would be 1 over 8. All right, so what I was getting at before is that if I had this number, let's say before it was changed to 3 and 3/8, if I had it as a mixed number, let me use a different color here. If it was originally a mixed number, which would be 3 goes into 8 twice, I have 2 left over out of 3. If I need to change that, you cannot do 2 and 3 over 2. So 2 and 3 over 2 does not work. That is not a reciprocal, okay? What I have to do first is change it to improper and then flip it. I kind of ran out of room to write improper, but that's okay. So I would have to do 3 times 2 is 6. 6 plus 2 is 8 over 3, okay? And then I can flip it. So you got to be very careful if it's a whole number. All righty, let's talk about dividing fractions. It says use the following steps to divide fractions. Change each mixed number to an improper fraction. We just talked about that. All right, rewrite the, all right, change division. I'm going to skip that because I don't know what rewrite the what is. Change, I'm going to go back and think what that word's supposed to be. Change the division to multiplication. Find the reciprocal. Okay. You're going to multiply, then simplify. In other words, the way I've always taught this, and it's a really easy way to remember. KFC, like the chicken. Even though it's not going to be in the exact order, but it's a really easy way to remember to divide. Keep, flip, and then change. What that means is you keep the first number. You flip the you're going to flip the second number. That means find the reciprocal. And you're going to change the sign to multiplication. Okay? So in other words, it's way easier than doing the puzzle ones. If I had 3/4, I'd say keep, flip. So the reciprocal of 2 would be 1/2. And then change the division to multiplication. And then I just multiply them out like we've been doing. 3 times 1 is 3. 4 times 2 is 8. And we are done. Way easier than the boxes, but sometimes it's a little more visual with the boxes. All right, same thing here. If I did 2/5, I'm going to keep. You never, ever, ever change that first number. It's what you start with. You have to keep it. So you keep the first number. You flip the second number. So if it was 3, it's going to be 1/3. Remember, because it would have been 3 over 1 as a fraction, so I have to flip it. And I'm gonna change that to multiplication. And then I multiply like normal. 2 times 1 is 2, 5 times 3 is 15. Okay? All right, this last one we're gonna do together. I have to change this to improper. Oh, that's what that word is supposed to be. Rewrite the mixed fraction. I think. All right, so I would do 4 times 2 is 8. 8 plus 3 is 11. Okay. Divided by, I'm just going to rewrite the problem. Okay. 5 over 1. I didn't do the keep, flip, change. I just rewrote the problem. Okay. Rewrite with improper fractions. I'm going to write improp because I ran out of room. All right, then I'm going to do the keep, flip, change. Keep. So that does not change. If it starts as 11 fours, it's staying 11 fours. Flip. 1/5. Change that to multiplication. And I multiplied out. 11 times 1 is 11. 4 times 5 is 20. I get 11/20ths. I would always put those in lowest terms. In these problems, they were already in lowest terms, but I would go ahead and put them in lowest terms. But that's it for dividing, okay? So remember, keep, flip, change. Do not do that for multiplication. Multiplication is already multiplication. I don't need to change anything, okay? It's only for division that you do the keep, flip, change, okay? All right, have a fabulous day. Your homework is, I think it's the worksheet number 4. So have a great day.